All right, today I'm taking a look at the GiveBest PTC fan heater. That is pretty nice looking. So we got the remote. So we got power, plus, minus, mode, oscillation, and timer. 95, whew. You don't need quite that. Oh, 72, okay, so it's just starting to warm up. Let's go ahead and put it on oscillate. There we go. Yeah, it's starting to feel pretty warm now. So that didn't take too long to heat up at all. So let's see what mode does. Okay, so we got low, eco, and high. So low is going to run it at a lower wattage, high is going to run it at the maximum wattage, and then eco is going to adjust depending on how much it really needs to do. So I think I'm going to put this thing on eco. Yeah, it's putting out quite a bit of heat right now. And I do like that it says eco high, so it'll actually tell you the wattage that it's putting out. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's nice and toasty. So this, like my hand being here, it feels like too close. This is definitely hot. So it feels like the fan is directly in the middle. So it doesn't necessarily have fans going all the way up. I feel most of the heat coming from the middle of the unit, which is probably a good thing because that way, like, you don't want to necessarily be heating up the floor. So I'll hit the timer. So we got 1 hour, 2 hours, 3, up to 12. So I really like that because what that means is that I'm going to be able to take this thing and I'm going to be able to turn it on and then go to bed. And then when I wake up, go to work, I don't even have to think about it. It will just automatically shut itself off. So that's very good. So let's check out the remote. This thing's definitely putting out plenty of heat. So it looks like the remote takes 2 AAAs. So pop that in. Oh yeah, this thing is definitely toasty. Okay, so on the remote we got the same thing. We got power, oscillate, up, down, mode, and timer. So all the same buttons that you got on the unit, you got it on the remote. So let's go ahead and turn the oscillate off. Okay, that works great. And then we've got temperature adjust. And I do like that it actually beeps, so it will actually tell you that it read the command, so that's nice. I'll put this, yeah, everything on here just works fine and dandy. So the mode works, timer works. Well, let's go ahead and bring this down and just see if it automatically kicks off. Okay, so yeah, it took off high and it also took off low. So right now it's just running the fan, and I think it's doing that because it needs to cool down. It doesn't want to just shut off and have all the heat sitting inside. But yeah, it's just blowing out cool air. Yep, and it shut off. So that's awesome. It automatically shuts off when it needs to. So I love that. Let's bring this back up. Let's see if this is close to what my thermostat says. $66. Okay, so it's real close to my thermostat. So that's awesome. And it's worth noting that it put it on low because it doesn't need to run the full wattage in order to get this room hot. So it's got a more mellow warming going on. Yeah, and that feels very pleasant. I actually kind of like the low. Yeah, so safety, this is a very important thing to me. This one actually does have tip over protection, which means, there we go. So right now it's turning off, and that's important because if this thing was to keep on running like, you know, conventional space heaters, it could potentially start a fire. So this thing will automatically shut off if it tips over. So that's awesome. And it does keep on running, but as you can see, it actually shut off. It has a 15-second cool down time, and that's just to let the air push through the heating element so that it cools that off to make sure it doesn't, you know, do any damage. And right now it's in Fahrenheit, which I really like, but if I wanted this in Celsius, I hit plus and minus together for 2 seconds. Now it's in Celsius. And if I want to take it back, let's do the same thing. Okay, we're in Fahrenheit. So let's say it was the middle of the night and I wanted to turn off this display. I would just hold the oscillate button for 1.5 seconds. There we go. And so that will have less lights on, and then I can press it again to turn it back on. So overall, pretty great space heater. Nice and toasty.